Good morning, everyone. I'll call the hearing to order. As directed by Manitoba Health, we're requesting people avoid close contact within 2 meters with anyone showing symptoms of a respiratory illness, such as coughing or sneezing. If you are experiencing flu-like symptoms, we are requesting that you excuse yourself from the room. Please note, when you join the meeting via Zoom, all participants will be in the waiting room and your microphone will be muted until the host lets you in the room. You can watch the hearing live via the City's Board of Revision YouTube channel. When called upon, you will be allowed from the waiting room and permitted to speak with respect to your property. Once you've been heard, you can continue to watch the hearing live via the City's Board of Revision YouTube channel. If any participants are currently watching the live meeting on YouTube, please mute your audio player now. I would like to also make the following statement and begin by acknowledging that we are in Treaty 1 territory in the traditional homeland of the Métis Nation. My name is Cynthia Stevens and I'll be chairing the hearing this morning. And the other panel members are to my immediate left, Mr. Robert Fillick, and to my far left, Mr. Bill Moretsky. Our assessor today is Mr. Doug Strachan, and our secretary is Michelle Neven. We will be hearing applications for revision of the assessment roll in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that applicants or the assessor make at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by Council and is independent of it and the City Administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the Board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to the Court of Queen's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemption from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the Board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the matters to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We'll then have the assessor's testimony followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all the evidence about an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all applications have been heard, and the Board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. We will receive the order by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. Okay, so we're going to begin this morning with number 8 on our agenda, which is 58 John Angus Drive, and I believe that the applicant is going to be joining us via Zoom.
No, this thing says not appealed.
She's gone? Okay, all right. So that would be 170 Westchester Drive. No, sorry, 49 Lakeland Place. Sorry, I'm not there. We go. Okay, so again, 49 Lakeland Place, and I believe the applicant is joining us via Zoom. Good morning. Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, we're going to start with your property, but first of all, we need you and the assessor to be sworn in. Can you state your full name, please?
Doug Strachan.
The evidence that you're about to give at this hearing, do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Are you both giving evidence this morning?
Yeah, we already emailed.
Okay, but if you're going to both speak, I'll have to swear both of you in.
What?
I'll swear both of you in.
Oh,
Sure.
Okay. So can you state your full name, please?
my full name is Theodros Mukru Azku.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And can you state your full name, please?
Ayalnesh Abapu Balacho.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll be starting with the assessor's presentation. You will have the opportunity to ask questions of the assessor after he's made his presentation. Then the board members will ask questions, and then we'll turn it over to you for your presentation.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Strachan, please proceed.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Roll number for the property 030671410049 Lakeland Place. It's a bungalow located in Waverly Heights neighborhood. It's a single family property built 1974, 1,760 square feet. It's property's got a full basement. Does have some basement development, 3 washrooms, central air conditioning. Our records show that there's 3 fireplaces and an double attached garage. Lot size, it's over 10,000 square feet, and it's on a retention pond. The comparable properties are all in Waverly Heights as well. All bungalows, similar ages. All of them are newer, 1977 up to 1982. They're all smaller than the subject properties, 1,400 up to 1,500 square feet. Comparable number 2, an advantage, it does have a walkout basement. All of them have basement finished, washroom count either 2 or 3. Similar features, air conditioning, attached garages. Comparable number 3 does have a in-ground pool. Lot sizes, comparable number 1, similar size, and is on the retention as well, comparable to retention as well. The adjusted sale prices, it's quite a range, 365,000 up to 363,900. Sales from May 2006 up to October 2017. With the reference date being April 1st, 2018, we feel that the 2021 assessment of 463,000 fits into that range of sales that did occur within the range. On the next page is it's a map of where the subject property is located, as well as the comparables that were supplied. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Atsku, do you have any questions for the assessor based on what he's said?
No, we don't have any answer.
No questions? Okay, thank you. Mr. Moretsky, do you have any questions?
No.
None of the others had a garage at all, except for the subject property has a garage, correct?
Yes, double attached garage.
Double attached.
Yeah.
As do the rest of the comparables.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, they all do, except comparable number 1, it has a single attached.
Single attached.
First 3 have double attached. Main difference, comparable 3 is it does have an in-ground pool. Some cases people feel that an in-ground pool is a negative factor. It's a personal opinion in some cases, but that's the main difference. There's the in-ground.
Can you speak up a little?
Sorry, comparable number 3, you'll note it has an in-ground pool. I mentioned that some buyers find it is a negative. Some people would prefer a property that does not have an in-ground pool, as there's an expense to fill. So it's a value that it's an item that sometimes does not influence the sale price substantially.
I have no further questions.
Robert, do you have any questions?
No questions.
So you found a couple of comparables that were on a similar type lot with the retention pond, and then is it the last two that don't?
First.
The first two have it, and then the last two do not, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And this house is bigger than a fair amount than the comparables too, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
It was difficult to find the assessor who determined or reviewed the sales in the neighborhood. He was unable to find properties of the subject property size of 1760 square feet, homes that size on the retention. So he reviewed for homes as large as possible that were on the retention, which turned out to be these
Okay,
two.
great. Okay, thank you. And Mr. Atzke, you have a presentation for us, I think, here, so we'll just pull it up. And has everybody got it? Yep, okay. Mr. Atzke, please proceed with your presentation for us.
Okay, my presentation is on 75 Augustus Drive. It's sold. It's $385,000. It's single family detached, and it's built in 1981. It has 4 bedrooms, heat forced air, and bathrooms. 3 bathrooms full and 1 half bathroom. And I have the testimony from salesperson from Tony Nicholson, and that how this house is sold for $380,000. It's not for $460,000. Can I read it?
Okay. Anything further you wish to add?
No, that's all. That's all what we got.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Strachan, any questions?
I'm just going through the notes. Did you supply any sales comparisons?
Yes, I did. On 75 Augusta Drive, Winnipeg R3 T4 N6, $385,000 sold, and the type is single family detached, bathrooms full 3, half 1, year built 1981, total bedrooms 4, heating forced air.
Okay, do you know when the sale occurred, the sale date?
No, actually, I don't know that one. In case if you guys can't check it.
Okay, so it's just the one sales comparison that you supplied, the 75.
Augustus Drive, yeah. It's fully never.
Let's see, not here, is that here?
Okay,
And just scroll it down and then we'll get find it.
Was there more than one, excuse us just one second, I'm just seeing if we have what you're referring to here.
Yeah, just keep scrolling it down.
I have 5 pages of information. Is that what you supplied? Just,
You know what, I think I have it here.
Okay,
I thought it was the same identical thing.
sorry, we're just making sure we have the right documents.
Okay.
Are you waiting to ask them or what?
Okay, I just put it in,
Okay,
Where?
do we need to go out and go back in?
I think you might need to go out and go back
Okay.
in, and then. Give me 1 second.
Sorry for the delay, we're just getting the right documents in front of us here.
Yeah, thanks.
No problem.
Then you might have to go out and go back in, but it's item 14 applicant brief, and then it says applicant.
No, it's the same one.
Oh, this is a new one,
It's
okay.
okay. This one probably. Yeah, that's the one, okay.
This is actually the same.
It's there under item 14.
This is the same what you put just added in?
Go back up to the top. Yeah, that's the right one.
The other one was colorful.
There you go. Yeah, the other one, I thought it was the same.
It is the same.
It does look the
It's
same.
exactly the same.
the black and white.
It's just a black and white version.
Black and white.
Yeah,
the other's
the
color.
second page, I think, is the sale he's referring to.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so we now have the document that has the sale that you were referring to on Augusta Drive, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, and you said you don't know the date of that sale?
Yeah.
Okay, just-
Okay, are you aware what, the date that the real estate agent supplied this to you? The reference date for the assessment is April 1st, 2018. I'm just wondering if this sale, did she mention whether or not the sale occurred prior to April 1st, 2018?
And that one I really wouldn't know.
Okay, thank you. I have no other questions.
So that's me.
I do. Hi.
Hello.
Okay.
Referring the response you got from Tony Nicholson,
Mhm.
page, it says to whom it may concern, and that you purchased the house, the property for $380,000. And she said that it was very rough, the roof was leaking, there were stains, and required an upgrade. Have you done all those upgrades since you bought the house?
We are just trying. We just did the roof, but still we are just keep doing it. We have first the roof, but we changed the roof. Yeah.
We just did the roof.
And anything else?
We don't have that enough money, so we have to wait until.
We have to do one thing at a time.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you.
We did the roof already
Yeah.
because there was leaking,
Yeah,
and we just did the floor,
The flooring, yeah.
but we still have the window need to be done. It's, yeah, there's
The
a lot of
basement
things
has
need to be done. But we just so far because of the we did a couple of things.
she stated that the reason you bought it for 380 is because you had that work to do. So when you
Yes.
did that work, your house would be worth more after you did some of that.
But at the end, she said, in fact, in the entire history of Waverly Heights, only 35 homes have sold for over $400,000.
Right. So what is your opinion that your house should be assessed at?
Actually, the lawyer gave us
Come again? Sorry.
Well, what is your opinion that your house should be assessed at?
Well, if it's, I know when, we have seen a lot of houses. Most houses, there's some upgrade. This house, as she said, as nothing has been done. It's quite rough. But I would say, like from what I have seen before, if it was everything is done, like when they sell house, usually they do maybe even kitchen or maybe floor, some couple of things just to make the house presentable. So I would say if everything was done, maybe 410, yeah, maybe I don't know, maybe 415 if the market. So when it's a hot time, it can go there. But from my experience, I usually go to open house or maybe I see houses. I haven't seen because of our area, it's 1974 to 1978 house built in this area. I haven't seen any house sold over 4. Even when they have like 10, what do you call it? This a competition on the day they put the last day to bidding war. It hasn't been sold more than like 4 something. So so yeah, like if everything was, if they did a few work, I'm sure my sale maybe 450, maybe 420, no more than that, no 460.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Mr. Bretsky, any questions?
So when did you purchase the house?
last year.
Exactly last year, August 15 was our exactly a year ago.
And what did you purchase it for?
380.
No one just, lots of people looked at the house and no one gave offer other than us because of the condition of the house.
So it was, you bought it for $380,000 last year.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, that's August 2019. Yeah.
Okay, no further questions.
And just to confirm, so my question is, just to confirm, the only improvements you've done to the home since you purchased it is the roof, you're saying?
Roof and the living room with the balcony carpet. So we did the carpet, but the basement they had the previous owner, they had a flat in the basement.
Okay.
Yeah, so the basement is they removed the carpet, but it's really in the balcony. Basically, need a lot of work. The basement, yes, it was developed, but they had a flat in the basement.
Okay, good.
So we that's need a lot of work.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, yes, we have one more question. Sorry.
Just to confirm, did you say that you had done some improvements to the flooring because there's stains in the carpets and so forth, according to that letter? So did you change carpets or didn't work on the flooring?
The floor was changed with the main floor. The living room, the main floor. The basement, as I said, they had flood before I don't know, maybe a few years ago. That still need a lot of work. But what we changed,
You did more floor, you did change the flooring.
Yes, and the main floor because we have young kids, so the floor had a dog. It was a lot of stain. It was very very. We couldn't. Even though we washed it, we hired someone to do the carpet to wash it. We did before when we moved in, and it still wasn't wasn't healthy for a kid. So we changed the main floor. Main floor carpet.
You did that, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Stark. Anything else you wanted to add as a summation, or?
Just the reminder that the reference date, April 1st, 2018, the post-reference sale shouldn't be taken into consideration. Upgrades post-reference have to be considered, taken into account. It's just the post-reference sale that I can't consider. Thus, the 2021 assessment, I'm requesting that be maintained. Thank you.
Thank you. And did you have anything further you'd like to add, other than what you've already told us?
I think that's you have what? Yeah, no, that's everything.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. You will receive our decision in the mail shortly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I am waiting for the applicant to come back to 5080 John Angus.
Okay.
She was here, but she
Madam
said she
Chair.
keeps getting bumped out.
Okay.
So just hold on.
Yes.
May I just ask the assessor something?
I'm not
Just
sure.
based on something he just said.
No. Yeah. No. Yeah. Excuse me. I just swallowed the wrong way. So you're trying to get her back then?
Yeah.
Okay. She's not there again?
No, so I have Matthew, 17.
Westchester. Okay. Okay.
One
So
set, number 15.
one. Yes, and there's appears, and the applicant has 2 briefs here, I believe.
Good morning.
Good morning. Mr. Schulten, you need to be sworn in. We'll do that first, and then we'll get going. Did I pronounce your name correctly? Please let me know how to pronounce it.
Oh, it's Joaquin, like the actor Joaquin.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Full name, please.
Matthew Joaquin.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, this is 170 Westchester Drive. Just let you find it first. We're just getting set up here. We'll be 1 minute. Give me 1 minute, Mr. Walker.
Okay. Thank you.
170 Westchester.
Okay, Mr. Walker, I'll just explain that in case you just didn't hear at the very beginning. So what's going to happen is the assessor is going to make a presentation. You have an opportunity to ask questions. Then the board will ask questions, and then it'll be your turn to present. And the assessor can ask you questions, and you'll ask questions. Okay. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Director, please go ahead.
Property is 170 Westchester, roll number 1000025400. It's a 2-story property in Linden Woods neighborhoods, built 1989, just under 1,900 square feet. It's a full basement. This basement finish, 3 washrooms, central air, attached garage, double attached garage, fireplace. Lot size approximately 5,900 square feet. The comparable properties also in Linden Woods, 2 stories. Ages pretty close, 1984 up to 1990. Square footage very close, 1,900 square feet. All that basement finish, similar washroom count, you do 3 or 4. Air conditioning, fireplaces, attached garages, lot sizes. There's a range, 5,800, which is similar to the subject, up to 6,500 square feet. You see 2 of the properties have influences, bus stops. Lindenwood Drive as well as Avon do have medium traffic allowance applied to properties. Sale prices, time adjusted sale prices, approximately 255,000 up to, or sorry, 455,000 up to 484,000. The subject property, 473,000. The second page slides a map. You see the subject property at the south part of Linden Woods, and then the comparable properties surrounding within the Linden Woods area. So I request that the 2021 assessment be maintained at 473,000. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Joaquin, do you have any questions for the assessor? Oh, sorry, we lost your audio there. sorry, we're not hearing you, Mr. Joaquin.
My apologies. I didn't know myself.
Again.
No questions, Madam Chairperson.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Philip, any questions of the assessor? No. Mr. Maretsky, any questions of the assessor?
Yeah, so you base the amount per, I was looking at the amount per square foot of the comparables. And it seems like you're just under, was it 98 Thorncliffe? And the other ones are quite a bit lower. What was the reason why you tucked this one kind of in behind the highest one? Instead of averaging it out or going a little lower? Or...
Yeah, it's the way I go about it. My general practice is I could search for every sale higher or above. I usually show a range, trying to narrow it down for square footage. I find the square footage one of the main things. Aim for that. To show a range, that's the way I go about it. They're very close, so I'm just showing a range. In this case, there's no influence. That's the values that were, or the properties that were generated. Some of the methods that we can go about it, just if we have the opportunity, you can go through a sales manual, go through them individually. If the time is limited, we can have all the auto comparison, set up the parameters for sales within the neighborhood, and the sales comparisons are generated. Offhand, I believe this one is the auto comps that generated these sales, and in this case, there was some above, some below. It appears the square footage that was the main issue. It could be the for comparable 2 and 3, the issue that probably should have been eliminated was narrowed it down to properties that did not have negative influences applied, which very well could have extracted properties that could very well have been higher. The bus routes, medium traffic influences to play a negative value as the bus routes, Lindenwood bus routes. There is quite a few. That's one thing we get comments about bus routes.
So a bus route is considered a negative influence, of course.
Yeah.
So comp number 4 does not have a bus route, so it does not have those negative influences, correct? And the square foot price for that one is $244.
Well, like I said, the opportunity to search for the highest sales, it would be possible, but I show a rate. It's just to know that there's a wide variety of sale prices that people purchase. So I always show there is a range.
Yeah, I understand that you showed a range. I just how you came up with a square foot number that seems to be closest to the highest comparable. You went through an explanation of programs you use, things like that. So did that kind of spit out that number, or did you use some arbitrary decision making in that process?
It's you have a mass appraisal, computer assisted mass appraisal system. It's not, like I said, if we have the opportunity, that time factor, amount of time, to take a much closer look at all the sales manuals, be more detailed with the health issues, working from home. Sometimes the resources aren't much available, so we have to resort to more computer assisted or help. I wish all the paperwork at my desk here in the office would be at my house. Not that I'd like it to be there, but it's not there. So.
Okay, thanks. I have no more questions.
I believe Mr. Philip has a question.
I think it just got answered.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, and I have no further questions. So, Mr. Joaquin, you can proceed with your presentation, please.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. Hey everybody. I will present. Actually, I have a question. I was preparing a list of similar properties, similar to the previous presentation, but I didn't get the chance to distribute them. Am I still allowed to use them as evidence, or do I need to forego that evidence?
Speak to them if you like, yes.
Okay. Do I have permission to share my screen so you guys can see the property details?
If they haven't been submitted, no, but you could verbally.
Okay.
We do have the other information in front of us that you did send, just so you know that.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm just feeling a little nervous.
You can tell me where to start if you're referring to the document, because we do have two documents here for you. So.
Yeah, okay, I will address the two documents first. So the significance of those documents is to prove the price point at which I was able to get the property within the time period of September 2019, which is 1 year after the reference date of April 2018. But with if discounted by the rate of inflation, would yield a lower valuation than the price of $445,000, which is also lower than the most recent assessment of $473,000. And so that's my first argument to propose why the valuation of 473 should be lower, and specifically closer to the $445,000 price point that the property was purchased at, only a year after the reference date. And my second argument regards the similar properties that we can list verbally now. The first one is 108 Eagle Mount Crescent. They have the same, maybe I'll go about it the same way that the assessor did. I have these 4 properties. I can list them off quickly. And the point I was trying to get to is that the sale price per square foot metric that he would have yielded me a lower result. So the 4 properties are 108 Eagle Mount Crescent, 357 Lindenwood Drive, 323 Lindenwood Drive, and 2 Lindenwood Place. Each of these properties were chosen because they were built within the similar 1980 time period and have identical finished basement, fireplace, close number of rooms, and are all 2-story, as well as are close to same conveniences such as grocery and school locations. The sale price per square foot, and I apologize I don't have a document to show this to you guys in a format that I can now, is would have been $440,000. Sorry, pardon me, $234 per square foot, which, if calculated with the square footage of my property at 170 Westchester, would yield a sale price of $440,000. Yeah, so those were the two arguments I had to support why the proposed valuation should be reduced from $473,000 to maybe somewhere closer to the price point that I purchased it at.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair.
Mr. Drucker, any questions?
Could you repeat the sale addresses that you read off?
Oh, pardon me?
The sales that you mentioned?
Oh, the sales, would you like me to list them up? Okay. So is this the sale price at that time period or the adjusted time price?
Sorry, I didn't catch the addresses.
Yeah, okay. So the first is 108 Eagle Mount.
Okay.
The second is 357 Linden Wood.
Okay.
The third is 323 Linden Wood.
Okay.
And the fourth and final is 2 Linden Wood.
Okay, I don't have the sales manual in front of me. Is there any negative influences? Like, do you have the manual or print off of these properties?
Yeah, from the Winnipeg website.
Is there like I said, I don't have the information in front of me. Is there some negative influences such as bust out? Any influences applied?
2 Linden Wood is close to Waverly, which would imply heavy traffic.
Okay.
Is that the type of criteria you were asking for?
I was just wondering if there's some influences that offhand, if you remember that. If
Well,
not,
I don't remember. Sorry, sir.
okay, no, that's fine. Thank you. I have no other questions.
Mr. Philip, any questions? Mr. Redsky?
I do not have any questions.
I'm sorry, the sales that you mentioned that was, so you're saying it's $234 a square foot was the average of those?
The average between the 4 properties, yes. Yeah.
What was the date of those sales? Was it all within the reference period?
They were within the 2016 and 2017. That was the most recent sale prices I could obtain.
16 to 27. And they
And
were
the
all,
price I used, pardon me,
sorry, they were all 2-story homes as well?
all of them 2-story homes, yes. With the adjusted time price used in the calculation.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Draken, any summation?
No, thank you.
Mr. Joaquin, anything further you'd like to summarize or?
No.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. You'll receive our order in the mail shortly. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, everybody.
Anybody else? Okay.
Which one?
Number 13, 7 Beddington. So. Okay. Just let me give my.
Okay.
Okay, does everybody have everything in front of them? Hello, Ms. Ola.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, thank you for joining us this morning. So we're just confirming you are here to discuss the assessment for 7 Beddington Street. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. The first thing we're going to do is have you sworn in.
Okay.
Trouble there.
Morning.
Morning.
Can you state your full name, please?
My name is Ruth Olaitan Ola.
And do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at the hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, somehow sorry, just if you can just hang on 1 second. I seem to have lost the documents here and I don't know what I've done. Let's try this again. There we go, 7 Beddington.
I'm having trouble getting,
Yeah, they're not coming up for some reason.
no,
No?
I'm having trouble getting the
Oh,
appellant's position on 7 Beddington.
okay, there. Oh, now, okay, hang on a second.
Maybe it was just a bit late.
Yeah, I got it now. You still looking for it?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, every time
I think you have to go, we're gonna have to go out of the assessor's brief and then go into, because it's a Word document.
Word.
Yeah. Sorry, we're just getting our technology settled here and then we'll get going.
No problem.
it won't come up. Oh, there.
There is that one.
Oh,
And then
okay. Assessors.
it's looking like it's stalling or it's.
Seems to be, it doesn't like, when you open the Word document, it seems to kick out the other one for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ola, I'll just explain to you what's going to happen in case you missed it at the beginning. So the assessor is going to present his evidence. You will then have an opportunity to ask him questions. Then the panel will ask questions. And then after that, you will present your evidence. The assessor can ask you questions and then we'll ask you questions, okay?
Okay.
All right, so Mr. Strachan, when you're ready, please.
Okay, 7 Beddington Street, roll number 0309-165-2700. Bridgewater Forest, 2-story, built in 2015, just under 2,000 square feet. Full basement. Does have a basement finish, 4 washrooms, central air fireplace, attached garage, and approximately 5,000 square foot lot. The 2020 assessment, 561,000. The comparables, comparable one you'll see is in Bridgewater Trails. The other 3 are in Bridgewater Forest, 2 stories, 2010 up to 2017. Square footage, they're all a bit larger, 2,000 up to 2,200 square feet. The 4 comparables do not have basement finish. They have 3 washrooms. Comparables, central air, some of them have fireplaces, attached garages, lot sizes, they're a bit larger, 5,000. Comparable number 3 has larger, 6,100 square feet. Commercial adjacent influence, there's an apartment block nearby. Comparable 4 bus route. The comparable sale price, time adjusted sale prices, 542,560, 544,566,000. The second page I supplied is the map for the subject as well as the comparable properties. The reason the original 2020 assessment was $522,000. A building permit was taken out. Interior alterations to include development of lower level, including 2 bedrooms, plumbing, electrical. So the basement was developed. So there was the basement finished. In addition, there was also added was a 480 square foot patio. So the assessment notice was sent out showing the increase from 522,000 to 561,000, which resulted in this appeal for the 2020 roll. So I request that the assessment of 561,000 be maintained. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Zola, do you have any questions for the assessor?
Well, the question that comes to mind was the first assessment I got on the year was 522, like he said. What was the increase based on? Because the basement was done in 2019 already, and we pulled the permits in 2019 before we got from 491 to 522. So, and our assumption was the basement was already taken into consideration, and then we got 561. So I'm not sure how they arrived at the 522 and now 561. So, and the patio that he mentioned was a landscape we did by ourselves, and that was almost 4 years ago.
Sorry, I missed the question there.
Yeah, I think so you're saying that you had received an assessment of 4 something originally, and then in 2019, and then it went up again?
So 491 in 2019, before the basement was done. And then February 2020, it went up to 522. So our assumption was the basement was already considered for the $30,000 jump. So and shortly after, we got another one saying 561. So we're wondering the transition from 591 to 522, how did we get there? And then suddenly to 561.
Okay.
Okay. The lowest number there you mentioned, 400 and whatever it was, 491. That was from the previous assessment. That would have been the 2019 assessment, which the reference date was April 1st, 2016. We were saying that your property was worth that amount if it, or what it may have sold for April 1st, 2016. The general assessment occurred. The reference date changed from April 1st, 2016 to April 1st, 2018. Thus, it went to 522,000. So over that 2-year span, we're saying that it increased in value from the 491,000 up to 522. Then after that, you develop the basement, which does add value. And since it was added, we're saying that the increase, the property value increased $39,000 because of the basement development. So as of April 1st, 2018, because of the basement being added, it went up in value to $561,000. So as it stands today, April 1st, 2018, it may have sold for $561,000. Somewhat confusing, but there's a specific reference date that we have to use. The previous assessment, as I mentioned, April 1st, 2016, was 491,000. We have to go in 2-year spans. So that's why there was quite the jump from the 2016 to 2018.
Do you have any further questions related to what Mr. Strachan has just said?
Not at this time, no.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Moretsky?
So you, Mr. Strachan, you said without the basement finish, then the market value would have been 521,000. Or
500, yes. Without the basement finish, we had it assessed as 522,000 without the basement finish. And then the building permit, the building permit is dated January 15th, 2018. We finally got around to doing the building permit, and the improvements from the permit were added, and the 2020 roll was adjusted to 560,000. So it was 522,000 without the basement finish, 561,000 with the basement.
So that value you put on that basement then is $40,000 or $39,000.
Correct.
Is that typical for a basement of approximately 2,000 square feet? Then that's what it's worth. Typically, that's what you buy.
Approximately, depending on the number of washrooms, quality of the work. If it's a judgment call. If it's the old 4x8 paneling from the 60s, it depends on the quality of the material. If it's used shag carpet, things like that, we have to take that into consideration. Generally, good quality materials. Basement finishes nowadays, they do have value.
But you wouldn't have known exactly what that finishing constituted in terms of material and the quality of it. You wouldn't have known exactly. You just kind of.
I did not do the inspection.
So did you just kind of go in the middle then, or?
I don't have the notes from the assessment. I did not. I can assure you, I did not do the inspection. By the looks of it, it appears it was just average quality. But again, I can't confirm that without doing an inspection, which is not allowed at this point. I can't confirm that. Due to the health issues, we're not doing inspections.
No further questions?
Mr. Dillon?
Mm-hmm. So I was going to ask you whether you had inspected the basement, and you said no.
No, I did not.
And you say you had the building permit, and the building permit was dated 2018?
Yes, issue date January 15, 2018.
So when the And so then when the assessment came out at 522, it would seem to be natural that maybe that would be taken into consideration because it was in January 2018. But the city did not use that calculation or that renovation at that time in increasing from 491 to 422.
We could have went back to, even though the basement finished,
We mean,
like the permit, I'm not sure when the basement finish was finished, maybe June 2018. We could have assessed the property, whatever, say January 1st, 2019. But we didn't assess the basement finish until effective January 1st, 2020. Like, the permit was taken out in 2018. So we could have went back, assuming it was done, we could have issued a supplementary assessment notice effective January 1st, 2019. We could have went another year back.
so why was the supplementary one sent out?
It was February 19th, 2020, effective January 1st, 2020. Even though the basement finish may have been completed for over a year.
So is that the purpose of supplementary to go out because of construction had been done?
Yes,
So wouldn't that tell you that it was already included in the value of the building, of the house?
the house was assessed. The 522,000 was the assessment on the property with an unfinished basement. When the house was assessed originally, when the assessor went out to the property originally, it was an undeveloped basement. So the assessment was 522,000. The permit came out once the
But the permit was already out by that time.
Correct. Until we see, once the building inspectors, we kind of have to coordinate. Once the building inspectors, they have to do their inspections. Once we get notified that they've okayed everything, it's completed, we'll get the permits, and then eventually one of us will get out. That's the process. There's, in the city of Winnipeg, there's quite a few improvements going on. We're not on it the next day. It's
This is where the confusion is the gap from this period of time, that it almost took 2 years before it got onto the tax assessment.
yes, it could very well. I don't know when, I'm sure the owner could tell us when it was completed. Offhand, I don't know. Sometimes basement finishes take a while. If the owner's doing their own work, it does.
You have a building permit there. Does the building permit say what the value of the building permit is?
Declared construction value, 20,000.
And yet you're using 40.
Just an example, new homes, developers and their building permits, declared construction value, 300,000. Materials, they don't sell them for 300,000. They sell them for 600,000. $20,000 worth of material generally is worth, adds more than, it's an improvement. So
What's the square footage of the basement? Do you know?
$633, approximately 30% of the basement finish.
So, okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. So I know you didn't inspect the property, but did someone from your office inspect it?
You know what, by the looks of it, it was, I can't confirm it, but it appears to be a conversation with
Conversation with you?
Yeah.
Okay. And would this, would the reassessment have been model driven then? Would it, the information entered into the model and then?
Correct.
Correct. Oh, thank you. Okay. Thank you. Okay, Ms. Bola, just give us 1 second to pull up your document that you sent.
Okay.
Here, I got it. Okay. Once everybody has it, you can proceed.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Ola, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So I sent you 3 documents. One of the documents is the sales book market region for 2018, and I highlighted some buildings that are close by. Oak Lawn is just adjacent to Beddington, and they highlighted in yellow at the prices they were sold for. And most of these houses are like my house because they don't have loss or any negative influence. And
I'll be there for one side. I just want to make sure we're looking at the right document. So you have, I see one here from you that says that discusses the city's comparables. And is that what you're speaking to right now, or did you have another?
oh, okay. I sent you 3 documents.
3.
So
1 second, hang on.
So 2 PDF and 1 Word file.
Okay, just 1 second. I only see the 1 Word document here.
That's all.
Did you have any others, Michelle?
I don't have anything else.
Sorry, we're just confirming here. We have the Word document you sent, but we don't seem to have the PDF, so we're just.
Oh, I emailed them to, what's her name, Michelle.
When did you send them?
I send it to you if I go to my email. What time? Hold on a second. I emailed that to you before you sent me your document. That was at 8:25 this morning.
Oh, okay. She's just checking it. She would have already been setting up the hearing this morning at that time, so she wouldn't have seen it.
Okay, no, that's fine. Okay. So you have the Word file.
Yeah, let's just see if Michelle has the others. If not, you can speak to the information if we.
Okay.
She's just looking. Okay, why don't we go through the Word document right now?
Yes, so we can go through the Word document while we wait for that. So why I pull that Word document, these are houses that have square footage that are very close to mine that are on sale this year. So these houses, this would have been the price that a realtor have assessed them this year for sale. So that's why I pull them up to say, even if someone is selling a comparable house this year, this is what they're going for. So that's why I pulled this one. But the one that I sent that probably she'll be able to get to have other houses that have basement finish. They don't have any negative influence. The square footage are more than 7 Beddington. And some of them even have land area that is more than 7 Beddington. And their prices are less than 561. So one of
are these current listed prices for this current date? Like, are these houses listed currently?
Yes. I think 2 of them have been sold. So I pulled this last month when I was preparing for this. So these are houses that are listed for sale this year.
So you can't consider information for houses listed outside the assessment period. So these houses are listed now, and your assessment is from 2018.
Yeah, so their assessed value from 2018 is what is in bracket. City assessed value.
That's the assessment, yeah, and we also don't take into consideration assessed value, just sales. So I don't know, was the other information you sent that you had, was that related to sales in your area at all?
So they don't sell houses a lot in my area, and the house that he listed in his assessment were not close by. So the houses that were sold in my area in 2018 is in one of those PDFs that I sent to you, Oak Lawn Road.
Yeah, okay, just hang on one second. We're going to see if we can pull them up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
13 applicant evidence documents, 2 and 3.
Okay, yeah, there. We're just pulling them up now. Thank you. Just give us a second here. Okay, just let me know, everybody, when you have them. And thank you, Michelle.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Bottom, okay. So we have your 2 PDFs now. So which one would you like to speak to first? One that has sales
So
data.
the sales book market region 8.
Sorry?
The one that has a sales book.
The sales.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
So if you scroll to, I think, page 3 and 4, I highlighted houses on Oak Lawn Road.
Okay, so the document that's headed sales data for market region 8, is that one we're looking at?
Yes.
Okay, so what would you like to speak to there?
So what I'm speaking to there is these houses are comparable houses very close by to my house, and they were sold in 2016, 2017, and you can see the sales prices for those houses. And some of them they have their basement completed, which is one of the factors that led to the increase of the assessment of our house. So, and you can see what they were going for in 2018. So, since you said you only want to speak to sales book data, so that is what I'm showing you there.
Okay, thank you. And your other document here says comparable houses in Bridgewater. So are these are some of the ones that were on the sales document, are they?
So the 359 Oak Lawn Road. So the 359 Oak Lawn Road, the last sales price was 530. And you can see the last one on that list, the square footage is 20,086, and the basement is finished. And if I go with the assessed value for that house, which is 530, and I want to use the square footage, will be 254 per square foot. And if I multiply that by my property assessed value will be about $503,000. So that's why I think the current assessed value for my property, it's high.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Strachan, any questions?
So you're basically comparing assessments? Is that the main, on the second page, the one labeled as comparable houses in Bridgewater, is that, you're comparing assessments? Is that the main issue here?
Yeah, those are the assessment for those houses, and the only one I know was sold a while ago was at 359, since you're only speaking to sales.
Okay.
Yeah, but those are if you allow me to speak to assessed value, these are houses that are already assessed, and they have basement finished, they have everything that my house has. And yeah, that's what I'm speaking to. And also, some of the questions that were asked earlier about 40,000 that you said would be the price point for my basement. This basement, like you rightly said, was finished for about 20,000 because we built the basement by ourselves. We bought all the materials from Lowe's and Home Depot by ourselves. So we did not spend 40,000 to complete the basement.
Okay. And the other sheet, you supplied sales data. I see that some of them are 2-story, some of them are 1-story, bi-level.
And most of them are
So that
2-story.
all of them are comparable to your property?
Yeah, most of them are 2 stories. Yes.
Do you feel a bi-level or a bungalow, for example, is worth the same as your property?
I did not highlight a bungalow. Oh, okay. Maybe which one is a bungalow?
1-story, there's the first.
Yeah, so it's just one of them that is a bungalow. All the other ones are 2-story.
Okay, I have no other questions. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Phil?
When did you purchase the house? What year?
2015.
2015?
Yes.
Okay. And what, in your estimation, what was the total cost of renovating the building? I mean, the basement,
20,000.
based on the permit, or was there probably something extra and over and above that?
So the permit that it was referring to was someone came to close the permit because when you finish your basement, someone needs to come from the city to look at your basement to make sure that you built to code that is on your permit. So the 20,000 that he was quoting was what the person saw and the things we discussed when they came for the assessment.
And you didn't do anything extra?
No, we didn't do anything extra.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Gretzky?
No questions.
I think I have no questions either. So, Mr. Strachan, any summation?
I request that the 561,000 be maintained. The comparable properties do not have basement finishes. The sale prices are within range. Comparable number 4, for example, does not have basement finish. It's older property. Does have some influences, and it's sold for 560,000, for example. So I request that the 2020 assessment be maintained. Thank you.
Ms. Zola, do you have anything further you'd like to summarize for us?
Yes, so my summary would be if my permit was pulled in 2018 and I finished the basement in 2018 and my property was the finished cost of the basement was 20,000. I think it should be fair for the increase for my property for 2020 to not be more than 510 because from 591 plus 20,000, that would be fair for us for a jump on the assessment of the property. Houses that are of similar size in Bridgewater that are even being sold in 2020 are for prices that are not as high as what the city is assessing the property. And the square footage of other houses that are being compared to mine, some of them are high, all of them are actually higher. So if we look at the square footage cost, I think my property is not as high as the city is assessing it to be. And going from 491 to over 60,000 increase in less than a year, I think is on the high side. So I want this room to look at all the things before you and reduce the assessed value of this house.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. You'll
Thank
receive
you.
our decision in the mail shortly, and thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you. Have a good day.
So we have the
Okay, do you want to take a short 5-minute recess before we do that? Okay. We'll recess until about 10:30. Call the meeting back to order, and we will be looking at 15 Stradwick Point, and we'll just get the applicants to join us first. Robert? Hello? Who's there, but there's no...
It says it's unmuted, but I don't see video.
Mr. Martel, are you with us? Maybe we'll recess again for a brief minute while we try to get him back. Thank you. Call the meeting back to order. Mr. Martin.
Good morning.
Good morning. So I'm afraid we're going to have to adjourn your two items. Well, there's 4 items here, but the 2 properties that you were representing, because we do have a requirement that the secretary be able to see you to swear you in. So I think what you'll have to do is we'll adjourn it, and unfortunately, and then you'll need to talk to the office once you are able to have a setup where we can actually see you.
Oh, sure. That's not a problem. I wasn't aware of that. As a matter of fact, the emails that myself and Michelle were sending back and forth, I said that I would do it via phone. I think the choice was via audio or via audio and video. And at that point, I selected just audio since I wasn't familiar with the Zoom setup. But I can make arrangements. That's not a problem. I just wasn't aware we had to do it.
Okay. Well, so unfortunately, we will have to adjourn these today, and so they'll be rescheduled to a future hearing.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, and I just noticed I can speak to Michelle at some other point. Now I have a telephone number. Before I had no phone numbers to get any clarity on all of this, so that's fine. Okay, so do I call Michelle?
Yeah, you can. Well, it will be rescheduled without you having to contact her. But if you have any other questions, you can certainly give her a shout. But you'll get notification of when it's rescheduled. Okay, very well. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Sorry about that. Okay, thank you. Okay, do we have anybody else? Nobody else. Okay, so I guess since that was the only other applicant who was with us today, we will close the hearing for the second. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry, right. Okay, yes. My apologies.
We have Blue Meadow and Springwater.
Yeah, so let me just go back to, whoops, I keep doing that. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry, let me just pull up. I need to find my agenda again, and I seem to have lost.
Number 6.
Sorry, I'm just, I don't know why I've lost my agenda, but I have. So
I
just
have.
give me 1
So
second.
I did it. You helped me.
I got you back on, and now I'm not.
Which one is the next one?
We'll do the first one on the, like, no, it'll be number,
Number 6?
as soon as I. Actually, you know what? I don't need the agenda in order to do that. No, yeah, okay. I've got an agenda right in front of me. I don't need the electronic. Okay, so so the next property that we're going to is number 95 Blue Meadow Road. Mr. Strachan.
5 Blue Meadow Road, pool number 030916766100. Bridgewater Lakes, 1 story built in 2013, 1,500 square feet. The 2021 assessment, 475,000. I request that the assessment be maintained. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions of the panel members?
Yes, basically. Your square footage seems to be higher than all the rest of the comparables.
Very close for comparables 2 and 3, or sorry, 1 and 2. One thing that was taken into consideration was the sale price, the subject property sale price in 2017 was 475,000. So
you're using the same. Is that it?
Maybe it's too low, but maybe a time adjusted sale price should be applied, but I'm recommending the 475 be maintained.
Ms. Wertz, any questions?
Yeah, such subject property is the only one with the finished basement, correct? Or what way in there?
Yeah, comparable number 3 does have basement.
So that one is a little bit less per square foot than this one, even though it has a full finished basement. That one, the comparable, or do you know that? Sure.
And I don't have that information.
Also a deck on the subject property as well. No questions, no further questions.
Questions? Thank you. So the next item on the docket is 26 Springwater Road.
Roll number 030929836660, 26 Springwater Road. 2-story single family property built 2019, 2,700 square feet, full basement, 3 washrooms, central air, double attached garage, 5,600 square foot lot. 629,000 2020 assessment, sales comparisons, built 2017, 2018. All the comparables are in Bridgewater Lakes. Very much features-wise similar. Lots of sort of the houses range 2,400 to just under 2,900 square feet. So 3 out of 4 are larger in size. Time adjusted sale prices, they're all lower than the subject. One factor taken into consideration was it is the newest property. The assessor who prepared the majority of this hearing, the briefs, spoke to the owner. The property has already sold. The appellant sold the property and wasn't going to show up. So
Okay.
the assessment or the appeal wasn't withdrawn, but had no intention of showing up. So that
Okay, thank you.
still had to be presented.
So the purchasers got surprised.
Okay. Mr. Moretzky, any questions?
No question.
Mr. Philip?
I'm a little, just for clarification, if you don't mind. Above here, it says year built 2019. And then down below, it says sale year 2018. So I'm just a little confused. What does that mean to me?
Yeah, I noticed that myself. Offhand, I can't give an explanation unless the assessor who did the original.
How could you sell it and build it?
Maybe the sale price was agreed upon December 31st. Without a bit more investigation.
Okay, you agreed on it 2018 and it took to 2019 to build it.
Yeah, that one I'll take a look once I get back.
But that's a big jump then from just building it in 2019 from 561 to 629.
Yeah, that I'll take a look at when I get back to the office. Do a review on that and very well make a correction.
You might make a correction?
The sale price that occurred is higher than the assessment, so not that the current sale, the sale that just occurred recently, it's not, I can't take that into consideration, but it's higher than the assessment anyway, so but, that'll be considered for the next reassessment. The July 2020 sale that did occur, so it's higher yet. So, but I will take a look at the difference in the year built, the sale date.
Thank you. Questions? Thank you. Next property on the docket is 58 John Angus Drive.
Okay, roll number 0309 1429200. This is the one that the original assessment, 2021 assessment was 503,000. That's the value that was appealed. The owner contacted the department and an assessor did a review, and I believe the review, there was just an error, or a feature was,
The basement finish. was
yeah,
it?
basement finish, and so a supplementary assessment notice was issued. I believe I supplied a copy of that. The number that was appealed, 503,000, was reduced to 465,000. The owner did not appeal that number. The 503,000 number does not exist anymore. The 465 number is 465,000 is a number that's on the 2020 roll, but it does not, or did not get appealed. So I'm requesting that that the original 2021 appeal be discarded because that number no longer exists.
Okay, so you're asking for confirmation of the supplementary assessment at 465,000?
Yes.
Thank you. Any questions, gentlemen?
No.
Thank you. The next 4 items were adjourned. So, and then we heard 13, 14, 15. So the next item on the docket would be 10 York Valley Way. So we have a 2020 and a 2019 here.
Yes. Okay, for 10 York Valley Way, phone number 030916300700. For the 2020 appeal, two-story, single-family, 2012 construction year, 2,500 square feet, full basement. Basement development, 4 washrooms, fireplace, central air, attached garage, 6,900 square foot lot in South Point. 3 out of 4 of the comparables are in South Point, comparable 3 Bridgewater Lakes. 2-story properties, year built, pretty much the same thing, 2011 or 12. Square footage, very close. All of them very close to 2,500 square feet. Basement finish. Full basement. 2 out of 4 have basement finish. Washroom count 3 or 4. It's pretty close. Much the same features. Garages, air conditioning. Lot sizes. There's a range. That's the difference there, 5,800 to 8,100 square feet. Sale prices, time adjusted sale prices, 5,500 to 6,500. The 2020 assessment, 616,000. The map shows the comparables. First, you'll see the one for this distance is the Bridgewater Lakes district further to the north. Otherwise, comparables 1, 2, and 4 are in the South Point area. Requesting that the value be maintained at 616,000. Thank you.
Questions, panel members?
Yeah, I do. Just for my information, you have 2019, 2020, yet you use different comparables against the same property. Is there a reason for that instead of just going back to the same properties that you used in the previous period? Was that a
right?
The rationale to that?
For the for the one I just went through, the 2020 2020 roll. The reference date is April 1st, 2018. For the 2019 roll, the reference date is April 1st, 2016. So there's a 2-year difference in the reference date. So that's why for the sales comparisons for the 2020 roll, I had to look at sales that occurred between up until April 1st, 2018, whereas for the 2019 appeal, I could only review sales up until April 2016. So it's always a 2-year span. So it's a.
Back then it was a 3-year span, now it's just a 2-year span?
At this point, it was, for these two appeals, it was a 2-year span. Now it's changed for 3 years.
3? Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Gretzky, any questions?
Yeah, the sale history, looking at the sale history in 2013, it was sold for approximately $454,000. Given that the market date is April 1st, 2018, that's 5 years later, now jumped to $616,000, which I don't think you mentioned anything that was done on the house. That comes up to an increase of 35%, which averages out to about 7% a year. Wouldn't you say that's quite a jump overall and quite a jump per year? Given that your time adjustments usually are in the neighborhood of 3% per year that you apply.
Right. The reference date for that, or sorry, the sale in 2013, that is quite a ways back for. So that would be a 5-year difference. It is quite a change, but we have to base it on sales and not taking a look at the sale 5 years ago. We have to base it on the sales that have occurred within 2 years prior to the reference date. So again, we'd be looking at sales from 2016 up until April 2018. So basically, we're discarding that 2013 sale. So even though it is lower, like $150,000 lower, it wasn't even considered. We'd be basing it on the sales in that 2-year span, 16 to 18.
I would say they've done pretty well market with that house.
Yeah.
Okay, no more questions.
And I have no questions. So the final item is York Valley Way, the 2019 assessment.
Number 0309-1630700. Again, it's in South Point. Only one of the comparables in South Point neighborhood. The comparables, either Bridgewater Forest or Bridgewater Lakes. They're all 2-story properties as well. 2010, 11, 12, 13 sales. All of them are a bit smaller, 2,200 up to just under 2,500 square feet. Full basement. None of them do have any development in the basement. 3 washrooms, and again, much the same features, air, fireplaces, attached garages. Lot sizes, 5,400 up to 10,000 square feet comparable for, which is a huge difference. That does have, which is quite a difference. Commercial, adjacent, Bison, being on, it backs on the Bison. There's the traffic, and across the street, or very close to it, is a apartment block. Whereas the other comparables 1 and 2 have influence as well. Sale prices, time adjusted sale prices, they're all in the 514 up to 581,000. January 2016 to March 2016, with the reference date April 1st, 2016. All 4 of these are very close to the reference date. So the 2019 assessment, 576,000. I'm requesting that the value be maintained. Thank you.
Any questions, gentlemen?
I was just looking at the pictures where the comparables are located. And I was looking at number 3, seemed to be quite comparable. And that's a long way to get from one to the other. You find? I guess, but it's still in the same development, so is that? You know,
Yeah.
like the subject is way over to the right.
Yeah.
Comparable 3 is way over to the left.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we tried to narrow it down. Distance-wise, it is titled, it's labeled as a different neighborhood. It is a distance. We try and break it down into, nowadays there's many neighborhoods throughout the city. Many years ago, like I'm talking many years ago, 20 years ago when we did appeals, there was large areas throughout the city. We could say St. Boniface in Island Lakes. We'd use a comparison in St. Boniface, in North St. Boniface, that's St. Boniface. So we could use quite a range. So now we have it narrowed down, very pretty close. We consider these still pretty close, even though it's a different labeled neighborhood. It's not too far apart in this case. I know it's neighborhood. I'm trying to get pretty precise, but with the neighborhood so small, it's somewhat difficult to find sales within the same block.
thank you.
So we kind of have to widen the parameters in some cases.
I have questions. So thank you. I think that concludes today's docket, and we will close the hearing. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.